Hello, in this video I will demonstrate how to calculate and how to interpret skewness and kurtosis coefficients using the IBM SPSS software. Here I have a data set that includes 30 observations representing 30 students. In this data I have two quantitative variables. One is called math score, which represents student score on a mathematical assessment, and the number of hours that students spend studying per week on average. So let's say that I want to see whether these variables are skewed and what are the kurtosis values for these variables. So one way to do this is to calculate the descriptive statistics. So I can go to the Analyze menu and then Descriptive Statistics. If I go to Explore and simply select my two quantitative variables and then move them into the dependent list area, and click OK, I obtain in my output window a lot of descriptive statistics about these two variables. For instance, for mathematics, I have the mean, the median, standard deviation, and so on. But then at the bottom of this first table, I see skewness and kurtosis. So I see that there's a skewness of negative 0.8 for this variable and a kurtosis of 0.08. So there's a little bit of a slight negative skewness here, but the kurtosis is close to 0. With skewness values, we typically consider them significant if they exceed -2 or +2. So even though there's a slight skewness here, I wouldn't say this is a significant level of skewness. With kurtosis values, values that are close to 0 indicate that the distribution has a peak that has a similar shape to the normal distribution. So this one is very close to the normal distribution. Positive values show that the peak is a little bit sharper or taller than the normal distribution, whereas negative values would indicate that the curve is a little bit flatter than the normal distribution, which is not the case here. If we look at the variable that shows study hours per week, again, we get a slight negative skewness here of 0.2, and we see that kurtosis is negative here, indicating that the curve is a little bit flatter than the normal curve, but not to a significant level. With kurtosis level, we look at values that exceed -3 or +3 to indicate significant deviations from normality. And if we scroll down and we look at the graphs that we obtain, we can see that these variables have a relatively normal distribution. There's a little bit of more of a negative skew here for test scores, but this is not necessarily significant. Another way to do this is to calculate descriptive statistics from a different place. So again, go to the Analyze menu, Descriptive Statistics, and then again Descriptives, and we select our two quantitative variables, move them to the variable area, and then if we click on the options button here, we have the option of calculating kurtosis and skewness here as well, along with some other descriptive statistics. So I'm going to click continue and then click OK. So with the descriptives table, I get results that are a lot more concise. They're already in an APA style table, which is nice. So I can see that for both of my variables, along with the descriptive statistics such as minimum and maximum and the mean and the standard deviation, I get the skewness coefficient and its standard error and the kurtosis coefficient for both of my variables. So this is in a nutshell how to calculate and how to interpret skewness and kurtosis using the IBM SPSS software.